Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, and a very good evening, everyone. And welcome to this introductory session for the Clinical and Counseling Psychology Internship conducted by Mind Your Mind Psychology in collaboration with Mindscape Institute. I am Shazan Aushad, and I am delighted to see so many passionate individuals here today, eager to embark on this journey into the field of psychology. This internship is designed to provide hands-on experience in psychological assessments, therapy techniques, case discussions, and real-world applications. It is a great opportunity to learn from experts, build professional skills, and gain valuable insights into clinical and counseling psychology. Today, we will walk you through the internship structure, features, and learning outcomes, and of course, answers to any questions you may have. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce our esteemed trainer, Dr. Hajara Sadam, a consultant senior psychologist with vast expertise in various therapeutic approaches. She will be guiding and mentoring you throughout this program. But before everything, we have Mrs. Hajra Sadam ma'am actively provides numerous internship programs and serves as a mentor to many interns. Today, one of her interns will share their testimonial. So I would like to invite Miss Shafira. You can take over here. Miss Shafira, you can talk and share your experience with others also.
Assalamu alaikum and very good evening. I'm Shafia. I stand before you today to share the profound impact of my internship under esteemed guidance of Dr. Hajara Sadam. This period was not merely an internship but a transformative journey that enriched my understanding of psychology and counseling. Through direct observation, I witnessed firsthand the application of theoretical concepts which deepened my comprehension and appreciation for the complication of human behavior. During this time, I was entrusted with conducting assessments and managing diverse array of clients. Each interaction presented unique challenges and learning opportunities, allowing me to hone my skills and adapt to various clients' needs. This hands-on experience was invaluable as it bridged the gap between academic knowledge and practical application, fostering my growth as a competent and empathetic counselor. Words cannot fully capture my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Hajara Sadam. Her unwavering support, insightful feedback, and dedication to my development have been instrumental in shaping my professional journey. The knowledge and wisdom imparted by her are treasure I will carry forward, guiding my future endeavors in the field of psychology. Thank you very much, Dr. Hajara Sadam, for your immeasurable contribution to my growth. And apart from this, I would like to say a few words. According to my experience, what I have got from Dr. Hajara Sadam, we will never get opportunity in anywhere, according to my knowledge, under her supervision and mentorship. Alhamdulillah, I am really blessed. I got her as my mentor in my life. I could actually, she made my last year till I with her. If she is in Sri Lanka, inshallah, I will be able to continue, I hope, because her positive vibes still boost us all the way in my career and personal life. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was really a positive word from you. Thank you so much. Once again, welcome, and we hope this session gives you a clarity and excitement about the path ahead. It's my privilege to call Mrs. Hajara Sadam ma'am to take over from here. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum and very good evening to all of you. Thank you, Sister Shazna, for the wonderful introduction, and thank you so much, Sister Shafira, for sharing your experience. It was a pleasure to hear your experience, and thank you so much for remembering me still in your duas. Because I have to say that Shafira still sends me every day duas saying that, ma'am, I pray for good health and good life. It's almost like her practice every day. It's been very long that they have completed their internship, but still she's sending me messages. I'm so happy to receive that. Sometimes I don't get time even to reply to her, but still I really appreciate your connection with me, Shafira. Thank you so much. So let me introduce myself. I think most of the students who have joined here are new, and I'm sure that you're not much aware about myself, except like very few. Maybe one or two must be knowing who I am, but I'll just give an introduction about myself. So I'm Dr. Hajara Sadam. I have completed my bachelor's, master's, and PhD, all in psychology. So bachelor's from India, master's from UK, and PhD from Cyprus. So I have 15 years of experience in the field. So when I started my career as a psychologist, actually there were only very, very few psychologists. In Sri Lanka, there were only like 5 psychologists. Out of that, I was the first Muslim clinical psychologist at that time. I'm talking about 15 years back. But today, the situation has entirely changed. According to recent research, it says that after Corona, the counselors and psychologists have become 30 to 60%. So it means it has doubled and tripled. Before it was doubled and now it has tripled. So it means that there are so many counselors and psychologists in the field. And also research says that more than 15 to 20 universities and local universities and international universities are offering psychological degrees and psychological programs. So no doubt that we have so many counselors and psychologists in the field. But unfortunately, we have a problem. So the supply is higher than the demand. So you know what happens, right? So when the supply is higher than the demand, there's only like very minimal demand in the field. And there are only like particular psychologists who are practicing as a psychologist. So there are a few reasons for that. Number one, none of the institutes which are providing the courses are not providing the practicals. They are focusing on the syllabus and they're focusing on covering the subjects, but they're not providing practicals. That's a fact. Even none of the institutes are providing placements. They're just giving the knowledge and the theoretical prospects. That's all. Secondly, now everything has become online. Most of the counselors and psychologists, they don't get the exposure and they don't get that learning. So what they basically get is what is there in the book. So theories and the basics about psychology. Even now I teach for bachelor's, master's, and PhD students. Now I don't teach for bachelor's because I don't have time. I teach for masters and PhD students. But what I see with them, even with PhD students, I see like very, very minimal knowledge because they have covered their bachelor's and masters in online. So they don't get any knowledge about psychology. So this is one of the main drawbacks. But I was very happy. Alhamdulillah, Allah gave me the opportunity to go abroad and study. So I've done my internship at previous countries. I did an internship with Caroline, so that's South Africa, and then I did internship with Mantra, so that's from Dubai, and then I have done internship with so many other hospitals in Delhi, Goa, and Chennai. So also I've done internships from various other countries like Malaysia and so many places, online and offline as well. So most of the internships were offline. So this was before 10 years. I'm talking about before 10 years when I started my career. So that was a great opportunity I had because I had a lot of exposure. And then I started studying more about psychology, and I was able to complete nearly 10 postgraduate diplomas in psychology. So everything is related to psychology therapies. I did a diploma in dynamic counseling. I did a diploma in psychotherapy. Then I did diplomas in training as well, because training is my passion. So I did many diplomas with related to psychology, like hypnotherapy, shadow therapy, and CBT, so many other. So postgraduate diploma in counseling and psychosocial support, like that I have done around like 10 postgraduate diplomas. And also I have done NLP, I have done art therapy, like so many other courses, because throughout the year I have been following so many courses. Like every year I make sure that I start up a course. That's how it has been all these years. So I was able to gain a lot of experience. So this is one of my strengths, I would say, as a psychologist, because now I moved to Saudi just before like 4 months. But when I was in Sri Lanka, I was one of the most leading psychologists, because I used to get about like 40-50 cases a week, which is very rare in Sri Lanka. Even I know non-Muslim counselors and non-Muslim psychologists who says like we don't even get 2-3 clients per day. So that's how it is. Like it's very rare. Like psychologists and counselors did not get much clients. That's the fact. Maybe there are one or two. Yes, I agree. One or two, three who are like very famous and very well known who gets clients. But other than that, other counselors and psychologists, they don't get. One of the major reasons, because people don't have really good impression about counselors and psychologists. Even clients, my clients, they come to me and they tell me that that counselors are not practicing well, and there are a lot of malpractices are going on, and they don't have experience, they don't have knowledge, they call themselves counselors. So main problem was there wasn't a body to recognize counselors as psychologists. So because of that, we could see a lot of malpractices. So due to malpractices, the entire community has developed a wrong impression about counselors. But Alhamdulillah, I was doing a lot of radio programs, so I was able to give a lot of awareness. So through that, I had my own crowd coming up from across the country, not across the country, even from various other countries, international students as well, students and clients. So I have been getting a lot of clients. So along with that, I have been lecturing. So I was lecturing for Columbia University as a external lecturer, and then so many other local and international universities like Metropolitan. I have been lecturing for more than 5 years. I've been lecturing at ICBT for more than 3 years. Then I've been lecturing for Innovators, and then I've been lecturing for, I don't even remember the names, because to that extent I lecture. So Amazon, I have been lecturing for Amazon. Then I have been working for so many other NGOs like Al Mushada, Zamzam, and then Careline, ACJU Educational Division. So like that, I was involved a lot in this field. And I've been a field supervisor. So I was working for this hospital called Aventra for so many years, around like 7 years. So there I have been working as a consultant and also as a supervisor. So I am a field supervisor for NIST, that's National Institute of Social Development. So Alhamdulillah, with the grace of Allah, so far I have trained more than 200 students. I have nearly 200 interns, online and offline both. So this is not the first batch, to be honest. This is like the eighth batch, 8th to 9th batch, because there were so many online batches, online ongoing internships were there. So there was one which we concluded recently also. So in each and every internship, at least there'll be more than 10 students. So that's how it has been. So when I was in Sri Lanka, I used to get a lot of interns from the universities like Columbia University, Metropolitan, like ICBT, or whatever the university which I've been teaching, and also NIST. So there was a huge demand. The problem was because there are no proper place where they offer proper internship. Like, what is the purpose of doing an internship? Basically, the reason why you do internship, not to learn any theories, not to learn anything in a presentation or on board. Because most of the places where they provide internship, what they do is they teach you modules, like they teach you things. Maybe they teach practically, but it's just like with the teaching, experience. There's no observation. But one thing which my students gained was, as Shafira says, they were able to observe sessions. They were observing session because I got very good number of clients. So they were physically present there. So they were observing, and there were students who uh, who took the internship online. So they were joining online. So they were joining online and they were gaining the experience through online. So they hear to the conversation, me and my clients conversation. So they got a lot of observation. So none of the other places are providing observation, but I think there are like one or two places where they provide observation, but they're very costly. They charge about like 45,000 to 50,000. You can go research and see, that is the fact. Even one of my students, he told me like, there is a internship, ma'am, it's a 3-month internship, and I inquire how much it's, they said it's 35,000. Like, it's everywhere above 35,000. Yes, we have to accept it because it's their experience that they are sharing. Like, see, like I have spent nearly about, I think, more than 1 crore for my studies. Like, when I am sharing it with somebody else, it's very valuable, right? So I have spent so much. I have spent my time, I have spent my experience, I have spent my knowledge. I have gained so much of experience by going through a lot of hardships. So when I am giving that to another person, it's acceptable, right? You charge, yeah, that's fine, that's acceptable. But what I feel is it should be reasonable, and even you can inquire from my students who are here. They are also, most of them are students. The internship which was offered at the clinic, that was also not that expensive. So it was like per month, for 100 hours it was 8,000, 9,000. Yeah, it was maximum 10,000. For 120 hours it was 10,000. So it was like very, very cheap, to be honest. But I did not look at it from a money perspective. What I felt was, I wanted to create some good counselors and psychologists in the field. In the same way, alhamdulillah, even today some of my students call me and tell me like, your guidance has helped us a lot, and we are practicing as a counselor, it's because of you. So what I feel is, in this internship, what you are gaining is something very important. So internship is not only the practical experience. You will be also getting a lot of supervised training. For an example, you will be given chances to take history. You will be given chances to do the testings with your clients. Even still, my students are doing that. So then you will be getting the opportunity of observing sessions as well. And I will help you to explore career explorations, and I will help you to find your pathways, because most of my students, I'm still helping them and I'm guiding them. And even the one who did the introduction, she's my student. She has been with me for a very long time, so she's very close to me. Because what I feel is, I feel I want to create something for my students from all the possible ways. If I have any possibility to give them something, that is my motive. So what are the benefits of the internship? So you're going to learn a lot of skills. So like handling clients, how to take the history, how to do the assessments, what are the therapies that you have to choose, how to choose the therapies, and what are the techniques. Because I have been well versed in more than 30 to 40 therapies. So I use an eclectic approach. So I use therapies according to the client. So you will learn a lot of techniques. And so that's one thing. And then networking opportunity, you will connect with other professionals. I have few professionals who are willing to provide internships, so this time I'm connecting them as well. And definitely I can be your reference, or I can help you with creating your profile in all the possible ways. You can tell me. Another benefit that you will have is, you can always introduce yourself as your Dr. Hajara's supervisee intern. That will have a special place, because people know me, people know who I am. Even in the last 2-3 years, students has got the best place in NIST. The first class degrees are my students. So most of the lecturers, even in Columbia University, my students got very good results, and they got very good places. So Columbia University, whatever the university, they know who is Dr. Hajara. And if you say that you are Dr. Hajara's students, you're going to have a special place, because it means that you're going to perform well. So that's absolute, because my knowledge sharing is going to be that extent. I am sure about that, because all my students say, ma'am, why don't you hide your knowledge? You're like very open, you're sharing all your knowledge openly. But what I feel is I want to give the best to my students, and my students should be best in the field. So now we see the problem is there are no proper counselors in the field. Like there are only very few. There are, but very few. So if you want to become the best, because there is a huge supply, the supply is huge. Now let's take Marine Drive. There are like 100 restaurants, but we don't go to all the restaurants, and most of the restaurants are not popular. There are only very few restaurants are popular because they are providing a very good service, and their food is very good, very good, and it's very tasty. Same way, now the problem in Sri Lanka is there's a huge supply, but the demand is less. So only the people who perform so well. This is why I became very well, because I performed well. I have not done any marketing or not. You can't show me any flyer circulating around until now. Now I have started because I'm abroad. Until now, circulating saying I am giving counseling, and other than from the institutes or from the hospitals or from the organization, they must have put up. But other than that, I am not doing any marketing, no videos or no vlogs, nothing. The best thing was all my marketing happened through word of mouth. Whoever got better, whoever felt better, they went and told a few people and they came up. That's how I got my population. So when I was in Sri Lanka, I was making a very good turnover. To be honest, it was more than 5 lakhs only through clients. The reason why I'm sharing, what I want my students, what I expect from my students is performing well. When you perform really well, you can go to that extent. But as a psychologist in Sri Lanka, you can't earn more than 150,000. This is the fact. Even if you go to a school as a counselor, they will offer you only 40-50,000. That is the fact, guys. I'm not lying. If you want, you can check on, because I had a student, my intern. She's working for a very famous school in Sri Lanka, Muslim school, as a counselor. She possessed a master's degree. So what they offered was just 45,000. She was working from morning 8 to evening 4. Yeah, so even if you take Zahira and so many other schools where they have a counselor, maximum they're going to pay you only 5,000. Now, let's say you are working as a psychologist in a organization, still they're going to give you 75,000 to 80,000 maximum. So you can't exceed 1.5 lakhs as a psychologist in Sri Lanka. But if you possess proper skills, if you know how to uh, carry yourself as a psychologist and counselor, how to treat your clients, and if they feel better, you're going to have a lot of clients. One of my students who is practicing in Shakir, actually I wanted to get her here. Yeah, so she always tells me like the exposure which I've got from you is very, very, very valuable, because she's practicing as a counselor. She's having so many clients. Actually, she's from Kandy, so she's having so many clients. Mashallah, she's doing a very good job. She always tells me, ma'am, it's because I got a very good exposure from you. So that's what I want to tell you. So it's not that I'm boasting about myself. I'm just telling you the reality. I'm not a person who does that. But the skills are very important, guys. Like if you want to practice as a counselor, because knowledge everyone has, no, everyone knows the theories, everyone knows, but there are certain techniques, there are certain, like, I would say those are like the secrets, my secrets. But I have shared it with my students. I have openly shared it with my students because I want my students to be the best. So I share my secrets with my students only, unfortunately, not with everyone, because that's my policy. So I share it with my students. So my students learn my secrets and they start practicing, and I'm happy they are getting clients. Yeah. So the skill is very important, and the way you carry, the way you talk with the client, and then finally you need the knowledge as well. Knowledge in the sense, not pure knowledge. You need to have the applied knowledge. You need to know how I can apply this knowledge. Just knowing CBT is not going to bring you anything. You should know how to apply CBT. Just knowing PCA is not going to give you anything. You should know how to apply it. So what we are going to do is, you're going to observe, but other than that, we will be having case studies, we will be having discussion. So in the discussion, you will learn the gains, like how you have to practically apply. I generally, when I teach, how I teach is step by step. Like first, what you should do, what you say to the client, what you offer to the client, and second, what you do, and how you put the treatment plan, where you have to hit the nail, and how you grab their attention. All of that I reveal to my client, my students, because I'm happy in sharing, because I want them to be best. So that's something that you will always see in me, because that is a unique character that I possess. Yeah. So you will get clinical, basically, from there are different types of internship: clinical, research, and school. Mostly with me you're going to get a clinical exposure, because family counseling, as I'm a clinical psychologist, I mostly focus on clinical. So I will be focusing on very few family cases, but mostly it's clinical and counseling only. Family, very few, to be honest, very few. Yeah. And then the research, I will help you if you're doing a research. Definitely, as a supervisor, I will help you with that. And exposure, see, it's like this. Now this is an online platform. It's an online internship, because most of them have requested for an online internship. They're very convenient with it, and they get everything that they want. So why do they have to bother about transport and everything? So it's an online internship, basically. But guys, inshallah, I'm planning to come Sri Lanka in about another 2-3 months. So what I've decided is, whoever is available, because anyways, it's good that we have a rapport and we have a discussion. So whoever is available for a physical session, they can join me, inshallah. Once I arrived, okay. So then we will be having some practical sessions. There I will get you some exposures with the field. So that is something that is included in the internship, but that's towards the end. So so that's something that you need to know about it. So when you are doing an internship, the reason why I gave my introduction, because you should know who is your supervisor. So I don't have to give you all this introduction, and I don't have to tell you who I am. Generally, when I'm starting another course, I don't give such a deep introduction. But the reason why I gave you this in-depth introduction, because you should know who are you studying with. You should know who is your supervisor, who is your lecturer. Yeah. So that is why I gave my background. Yeah. So definitely you have to determine, when you are finding a right internship, you have to find out who is the supervisor, because most of the supervisors, yes, they have qualification, they don't have experience. So what's the point? Yeah. Or maybe they have experience, but there's no qualification. That is also no point. A supervisor should possess at least a PhD, master's or PhD, master's with more than 5 years of experience. If she has a master's and more than 5 years of experience, yes, go ahead. Or at least PhD and at least more than 3 years of experience. Because I heard recently that there is a supervisor, it seems. I don't want to mention her name, but she has done only her bachelor's, but I don't know how she became a supervisor. And she is giving internship to students. Unfortunate, like, why our students are so foolish to take an internship with somebody who has done a bachelor's. Okay, she can be best in her skills, but absolutely her knowledge is going to be limited, because she has done only bachelor's, right? And more than anything, you should have worked as a supervisor. So now I have letters, I can prove you that the universities has appointed me as a supervisor. Of course, then I have the ability of being a supervisor. So if you don't have the ability of being a supervisor, how can you call yourself supervisor? So these things are happening in Sri Lanka a lot. And even counselors and psychologists are practicing without experience, without internship, which is not acceptable. If you are practicing as a counselor, you need minimum 450 hours of internship. And if you are practicing as a psychologist, minimum you need 1,000 hours of internship, which is the rule of the country. Yes. So with a master's or even with a bachelor's with 1,000 hours, you can practice as a psychologist. With a diploma, if you have HND, not diploma, with the HND, if you have 450 hours of training, you can practice as a counselor. And there is this body, whoever has a master's or a bachelor's, there's this body called SLPCCA. Yeah, they are recognized by the government. So counselors who has their I will provide everything. Okay, don't worry. Who has their recognition can practice as a counselor. It is a license actually. It is a license. So license is very important. So when you are doing an internship, please look into the people who are providing it. Don't go blind, right? And absolutely in this internship, what you're covering, let me tell you certain things, guys. This is something very important for you to know. Okay, so inshallah, we will be starting this internship by next week. Right, by next week, we are going to start the internship. So then next week, after next week, we will be having a gap during Ramadan, because I have to tell you that during Ramadan, the client approach is very less, guys. But at the moment, I have few clients online, and so I have sessions like from tomorrow onwards. Frequently, I have sessions like at least I will take one session per day. So now I don't burden myself, because when I was in Sri Lanka, my students know, you can ask them, I used to take 12 sessions per day. But it was so stressful and I fell sick. I did not realize. But now I don't want to burden myself. I take 1 or 2 sessions per day. But that is sufficient for your observations, because that itself will give you so much of insight, right? So you can join any day. If you want to gain more experience, you can join more days. But whenever I have a client, I will be informing you in the group, in the official group. Then you can log in and you can listen to it. But there will be a class, inshallah. I'll tell you exactly whether it's going to be Wednesday or Thursday, that you have to participate. You have to participate for the discussion. So that is a must. Other than that, at least weekly once or twice, try to observe the sessions. Yeah. But weekly once is must. Like, okay, weekly twice. If you can't, no problem. You can change the schedule. Session observation, you will not be providing recordings because it's unethical. So we can't record observations. Right? Discussion, yes, you will be getting the recordings, no problem. But observations, you will not get the recordings because it's not acceptable. It's not ethical, right? So during discussion, we will be discussing about the case that you have observed. Okay, so this is how the pattern is going to be. So there are going to be a break in Ramadan for about 2 weeks, because Ramadan, the clients also less, and we involve more in spiritual activities. So other than that, it will go on. So it will finish by May. Okay, so 150 hours of internship. So observation, then discussion, plus case studies and self-studies. Everything includes together within this 150 hours. Okay, so this is a brief about our internship. So I told you what you're going to gain. So the practical exposure. Once I feel that you're capable of taking a client, I will let you take the history. I will let you do the assessments as well. So already my other students are doing, few of my students are doing. So y'all can do that. Yeah, so that now we can give a relief to them and y'all can start doing it, no problem at all. And so these are some of the most important things that you have to keep in your mind. So basically, this internship will give you a letter. Yeah, so that letter is so valuable, because when you take that letter to your like, let's say when you're applying for a job, they will definitely ask you for the internship letter, whether you have done internship. Even to complete your bachelor's or master's, you need internship number of hours, which is important. So you will be given a letter with my sign. So we are registered organization. Our organization is registered. I am registered. So the letter is so much valid. So whatever the number of hours that you cover, that will be mentioned. If you have covered less number of hours, unfortunately, I can't give you a full letter saying that you have covered 150 hours. But for whatever that you have covered, I will be giving the letter. Okay. Right. So this is it. So basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to train here. Whatever I have, I'm going to give you 100%. I'm sure in that. You can ask any of my past students about that. They will be very sure about it. So even you can ask Shafira, Shazna, like even Sharifa, they all are my students. They are here. So you can ask them. So I'm going to give you the best. So if you have your friends, please ask them to join. If they join, you will be getting a discount from your internship free. Okay, you have to pay 20, you can pay in installment. That we will give you a relief if you bring another student into the internship. Okay, so officially we will be starting next week. If you have any questions, you can ask me now. Any questions? Guys, any questions? You must be having questions, right? Any questions? Tahira, Nasma, Asma, you guys said that you have questions. What are the questions do you have? You can unmute yourself. 2 installments, guys. You have to pay in 2 installments. First is 10, second is another 10. Within, okay, the second installment maximum within the 3rd month. Any other questions? How long would it last? How many months? Yeah, that's what I said. So we are starting next week, inshallah. So your number of hours will start counting by next week, inshallah. Okay. So in that case, so let's say it's February, no? Mid of February, March, April, May. So end of May, beginning of June. It will be end of May to beginning of June. Because you have to cover your 150 hours, no? If not, I can't issue the letter. So the letter is important. So basically it's 150 hours. So you have time to cover. In case, let's say you have any difficulties or you have a problem or maybe you have some critical situation, you have to inform me earlier. So I will be giving you an extended period to cover your internship. Maybe 1 month or it depends, right? But you have to inform me earlier, at least prior to 1 month, saying that you have this problem. Then I can consider increasing the time and I can give you some relief and you will be given extra some time to complete. So I will be giving you some tasks that you have to do physically on site. So that I will be letting you know at the end. Anyone who, yeah, you can clear your questions. The observation sessions will be in the morning, darling, because I have lectures in the evening. So still I am online lecturing for most of the universities. So most of the lectures will happen in the evening. So the clients I take in the morning. So the discussion, I told you one day, it's Wednesday or Thursday, it will be in the evening, inshallah. That will be around 6:30 to 7:30, 6:30 to 8. The observation sessions will be in the morning. Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, so anyways, so if you don't have any questions, then we can wind up for today. I'm not going to take much of time. Guys, please let your friends also know. Um, we will definitely consider giving you a relief. If you bring at least one person, there will be a discount for you. Yeah, so please inform your friends as well. So next week, inshallah, next session will be the official first session. So you can bring, even that is going to be an open session for everyone. So you can bring your friends. They can just, attend and see how is it. And Online. Yeah, that's what I said, Nasma. Most of the sessions are going to be online. Yeah, but inshallah, in another 2-3 months, I'll be coming to Sri Lanka. So at that time, we will be having some physical sessions. Whoever wants to join physically can join. If not, you can join online. No problem at all. Yeah, you can attend any observation session. That's what. But I will be sharing the links in the group. Sorry, guys. Yeah, you can observe any session. I will be sharing the links in the group. So whenever you are available, you can observe it. So it's up to you, because through observation you learn more, no? So when you observe more, you will learn more. When you observe less, it's up to you. But I encourage you to observe more sessions. Then you will be able to learn more. Till the observation mentioned ahead of time. Yeah, I'll try my best, because sometimes clients, they cancel in the last minute. They ask for extensions. They'll ask for the change of time. So it depends. Sometimes I will also have some situations. So most of the time, I'll try to now whenever there is a scheduled session, I'll try to inform you. Okay, and inshallah try to inform you earlier as much as possible. But in case if not, maybe I will share the link at that time. Then you have to join. Whoever is available can join. Yeah, taking notes is completely up to you, but I will be telling you how to take notes while attending to the session. That I'll let you know in the next session, darling. Okay, Shiaza. In the next session, I'll let you know what you're supposed to do in the discussions. Okay, so thank you so much. Nice to have you all on board. So we'll catch up next week. Please let your friends also know. Once again, thank you so much, Shafira, and thanks a lot, Shazna. And behind everything, there's another person I have to mention, that she's our founder of Mind Your Mind. So that's Sharifa. So thank you so much, Sharifa, for all your support as well. So thank you so much, guys. Inshallah, we'll catch up next week. Take care of yourself. Have a great week. If you have any questions, either you can contact Miss Sharifa or Shazna, or there's another coordinator called Samiha. She's not present. Maybe she's having some work. So you can contact any of them. If I am not reachable, because sometimes I'm not reachable, you can contact any of these 3 people and you can get your doubts clear. Okay, so then have a great week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Take care of yourself. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.